This is the Epomaker TH80. It has a 75% semi-exploded layout, a knob, is gasket mounted, and has tri-mode functionality. If these specs or layout don't sound new to you, I wouldn't be surprised. The same can be said for the Lychee G80, Techwear Bay 80, as well as the NJ80, albeit with slight modifications. As of late, more and more mechanical keyboards are appearing and sounding the same with the rise of the popular layouts like the exploded 75%. Not to mention the mods that influence the overall sound of the board, like the Tempest and PE Foam mod. Why is that? Well, let's find out. Before we proceed to the review and discussion, please note that this is a review unit sent over by Epomaker. Despite this, my opinions are my own. As mentioned, the Epomaker TH80 seems to fall in line with the design and features of other boards today. I mentioned earlier that it's a tri-mode, gasket-mounted plastic board with switches and keycaps included. And in this configuration, they sent me the Gathering Blue switches with MDA profile keycaps. These keycaps seems to look like the same type seen on the Fancy Tech 81. Before discussing it further, let's hear it talk with those clickies. As you heard, with clickies, the board doesn't sound half bad. We'll modify this further later, but first, let's discuss why it has a lot of twins in the market. I believe Epomaker partnered with a third party, or an OEM, to produce this board. Through a process known as OEM branding, an original equipment manufacturer, or OEM, can mass produce and sell products to value-added resellers or bars, which then re-release the products under their own branding. Companies like Lychee, Ducaro, Techwear, and others fall under this category, as they essentially sell the same product with some variations to avoid a strict competition. In the case of the Techwear, they added the black frosted case and cherry profile keycaps. In the case of the NJ series, they added the brass plate. And in the case of the Epomaker, they added their own MDA profile keycaps. At its core, while these boards may come from similar, if not from the same OEMs, the companies are not cloning each other's boards, as they are just bars in the market that add more features on a pre-configured board. Now, let's talk about the TH80. The TH80 brings a fresh spin on the included keycaps, as instead of going bare bones or OEM profile, the board comes with MDA profile keycaps, which are 1.3 to 1.5mm thick, a step above the usual 0.8 to 1.2mm shine-through set. The board also comes equipped with Gateron switches. My configuration comes with Gateron clickies, but you can get yours with Gateron Pro switches out of the box. Another pro of the TH80 is that it ships by Epomaker, eliminating the need for consumers to go to AliExpress or Taobao to get this kit. Epomaker makes getting this kit quite convenient for customers outside of Asia, as the TH80 is in stock on their website at $99. In the box, you get all the accessories you need, such as the manual, the board itself, a USB Type-C cable, the 2.4 GHz dongle, and a keycap and switch puller. On the front, we see the 75% layout that is semi-exploded. The arrow keys hug the bottom row while being separate from the nav column. The knob was a little loose stock, but adding tape solves it. While the back houses the 2-stage rubber feet, switch for the tri-mode and Bluetooth, and a compartment for the dongle. The PCB is fortunately south-facing and hot swap for 5 pins, so cherry profile users won't have a problem with interference. Unfortunately, the PC doesn't support BIA or screw-in stabs. The stack stabs are fine once lubed, and the tolerances in the plate seems to be high enough to prevent the stab housing rattle. The board comes with plate foam and case foam attached to reduce hollowness in the board. The battery lasted me 3 days while RGB is on, by a 2.4 GHz. Not bad considering I had the board's RGB on the whole time. The mounting style was supposedly gasket mount, yet it lacks the flex or bounce it needs to be. YBBK and Pusaka MKB did an in-depth video detailing how, essentially to make this a better gasket mount, and I'll leave those links down below. For me, I just did a tape mod on the back of the PCB as I don't want to risk destroying the case. But I highly suggest watching them too to properly mod this keyboard. I also changed my switches from Gathering Blues to JWK Lagoons, and here's how it sounded. For the price of $99, you can't go wrong with this keyboard. If you're in the market for a budget pre-build that includes Gathering Pro switches and thick keycaps out of the box, then I highly recommend this. Though the gasket mounting does not feel great without modding, I think it's still a nice board for the price. I'm glad Epomaker is bringing budget options such as the TH80 to the US markets, as the other boards I mentioned earlier are sometimes hard to come by in the US or the UK. I just hope they don't do the group buys for future boards, as the board is already in stock in many places already. So, that's my review of the Epomaker TH80. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts on the comment section below. Once again, I'm John J. Binueva, and I'll see you in the next video.